All right. Hey, Alan, we're, let's see, what time have we got? We're, we're, we're 3 minutes early.
Oh,
Oh,
by golly, Johnny, that's a good thing.
oh man. I felt that the day was a lucky day, but I didn't know it was going to be 3 minutes lucky.
Hey, all right. You got any Christmas music for us today?
Man, no, I don't have anything that I have that I own. Uh, that's Christmas music. Now I do
Oh,
have a New Year's Eve song that a friend of mine made that I own. That I
that you own. That you own. That's a very good point that you bring up.
mm.
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
So and anyway, these people haven't been able to figure out how to connect audio and video together. So I just said it is what it is. At least they got the video going, and I'm not going to push it. It's like, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have no budget, so you're gonna have to, tip the host at PayPal.com. Uh,
Yeah.
if you just oh
PayPal.me.
oh yeah, PayPal.me/Intervision Denver. They would just be going anywhere in PayPal and just donating. Okay, so specifically to get to us is PayPal.me/Intervision Denver. Right. All right. Well, man, the topic I picked out tonight. You know, I was reading. I've been going. I've been going to well, the book of Luke.
The Book of Luke.
Yeah.
Which chapter?
So chapter 11, I saw this stuff about like, if a friend comes to your door at midnight and says, a traveler has come to my house and I don't have nothing to give him. Could you give me some bread? And then should you say, hey, me and my kids we're in bed and I'm not going to open up the door? Or should you say to that friend, well, here's some bread, we're friends, so why not? Here's some bread. What should you do? So he was saying like, he was talking about giving, seek and you shall find, ask and it will be given to you. And it says, if I like this part. If your let's see, what was it? If your son asks for an egg, would you give him a scorpion? I
You
said,
know, I got to tell you, the first time that I ever read that, I envisioned eating an egg, and then, of course, I envisioned trying to eat a scorpion.
yeah.
And it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, and I forgot the one about the snake. Is if your son asked you, I don't know if your son asked you for a piece of bread, would you give him a snake? Yeah, I mean I got it written there right there. But so I was reading that and I said, that sounds like a good one. And then my wife, she said, Johnny, don't get upset, because I was telling her about what was in this supposedly COVID-19 uh, help the American people stimulus. And
I
it's,
think what you're looking for is what mainstream media is calling this is a
oh,
COVID relief bill.
yeah.
It's
And they're bragging about
COVID-19
this.
relief bill.
Yeah. And they're bragging about the $600. But I'm looking, do you know they have something? In Illinois, there was some kind of race riot back in 1908. They're giving them $10 million to find out why that was. And I could tell them because they were idiots. Here, give me the. You
You
don't
should
need
apply
to.
for the you should
Yeah.
apply for the endowment there, Johnny. I think.
Wow, man, I couldn't
Hey,
believe.
Johnny, I got to tell you something here. It's a funny thing. It's only a $5,000 or 5,000 page bill. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's a little bit of light reading. I mean, certainly there are a few items of pork in there. I mean,
A
six
lot
hundred
of
dollars
items of
is a
pork.
small price. Oh, now I mean, what billions of dollars going to countries that
Well,
certainly we should be able to help out other folks, but by
well,
golly.
we were given to Arabian country uh, several $1 million to study uh, women uh, uh, gender problems. Who
Absolutely, Johnny.
cares?
Absolutely. I mean, we as Americans are absolutely paying for these gender studies in certain of
Other
other countries.
countries, they just let
And
them wear their burqas and be happy. It's like, I, 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 oh man, I mean, I haven't even went through like the bulk of that. I mean, it's like just some of the ridiculous stuff, and Nancy sitting up there saying, and then I added up like Nancy's expensive ice cream. How much that would be to get 6 months? It would be $349. So, and if
oh,
you wanted,
that's all.
yeah, if you
That's
wanted a year, it'd be 700 some odd
700.
dollars. So even the stimulus pill wouldn't pay for the ice cream that she's eating.
Wouldn't pay for your year's worth of ice cream
That
on Nancy's
Nancy,
dime.
yeah.
that's ridiculous. I
So
just don't even know what to say.
I mean, is it almost like, are they just saying, well, we're gonna slap you in the face, you know, it's like, and then they're giving other countries so they can pay other countries a month worth of money, and it's almost like, I don't want us to become like a socialist thing. I want us to be working. I know this is, what is it, 20 million people that are unemployed because these blue states are shutting them down. But I'm just saying, it's like, wouldn't that money be much better at at giving loans to entrepreneurs so they can hire some of these 19 million people who are misplaced out of the restaurant business to do something else until that comes back around.
That's a very good point that you bring up. The idea that one should, in fact, under the United States Constitution, be afforded the rights of peace and domestic tranquility. Part of that is being able to actually make a living. And
Hmm.
that is being infringed upon by what we do have going on here. And that's what this relief bill, as they're calling it, is designed to try to help address. Unfortunately, it's nothing more than a $5,000 omnibus spending bill with a bunch of pork added in
Oh
that
man.
we're not even sure. Number one, that the line items in this bill are going to receive the attention that they say that that this is going to. So, for instance, if you've got a gender study in Pakistan, let's just say,
Yeah.
which happens to be in this bill, um, if you got a study like that, who's to say that that particular study is actually going to be carried out? Another statistic that's in here looks like with the military, looks like it costs like 5,400,000. Yeah, about 5,400,000 per year per soldier. I want to do some looking into that. Buy new
Hmm.
soldiers were expensive, but if you've got uh, a battalion of troops out there, I wonder if that's an odd daily figure, $5,400,000 a day per soldier, or is it per year? I
Hmm.
definitely want to check into some of this. This is the information age, and
And
you can really feast yourself.
they have some in there for the highways, which I agree on the highways, because I think in Pennsylvania they have a pothole so big that someone just put a Christmas tree in this pothole in Pennsylvania that they've been trying to get it fixed for years, and the local city government has always found something else to do with the money rather than fix the streets. And even here downtown Denver, new buildings are going up, and then you have tents and tents of homeless people around these buildings that are coming up, which none of these people will not be able to afford to live in.
Yeah, this is nothing more than a Financial Reappropriations Act of 2021. In fact, when one does a Google search, I'm sure that if one did an appropriations Act of 2021 search, one could get the entirety of the 5,000-page bill, which incidentally, 3 days ago, before the thing was passed, the public was not allowed to view any portion thereof. And this is very interesting, especially when it goes poof into law as of, President Trump's signature. Um,
I hope he doesn't sign it. I mean,
what I'm
I hope.
unclear as to whether he signed it or not as of yet. I keep seeing, yep, we're getting our checks. We're getting our checks. Oh, here's another piece. Those stimulus checks, I'm actually happy that we're only getting $600, Johnny, and I'll tell you why. This is looked at as free money. Everybody looks at this as free money, and the failure of understanding on a large portion of American people is the fact that we have to pay this back. This does go towards our national deficit. And so consequently, with a current national deficit of way upwards of well over $20 trillion as of before the pandemic, you couple what we've got going here, man, we're in some trouble. And our kids and our grandkids are going to have to pay for our stimuluses, our stimuluses. That's a
I,
very interesting thing.
well, I'm thinking that yeah, our grandkids and those kids are going to pay if America is still here, because it looks like we're running each other. Well, we're running. Well, not we. This group of banditos in the government is running this world into a pit, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get out of this pit that eventually, and I bet we're borrowing money from somebody to support this money that we're giving away, which we can't even afford to give away. I'm not even sure.
That's absolutely right, Johnny. We are indeed borrowing on our credit rating from the International Monetary Fund to go ahead and subsidize this particular spending bill. This financial appropriations Act of 2021, like I said, is nothing more than a spending bill with a little bit of sugarcoating. You guys shut up and take your $600 and be happy with what you got, knowing that a month ago there was $1,200, or knowing that a week ago that there was possibly $2,000 on the table via, what President Trump wanted to at least attempt to do for the people, at least from what was put out there. So the bottom line here being, yeah, there is a silver lining. Certainly $600 is indeed a slap in the face, and it won't even pay for apparently a year's worth of Nancy's ice cream. And certainly it's not going to catch any of us up on our bills. But there is always hope. There is always hope. Every time that we draw breath, there is always hope. Every time we wake up every day. And that hope is not here. That hope is in Christ.
Yeah. I mean, it trots along, but like in Rome, the great Rome, there's going to be a reckoning, and so we don't know if it's going to come before we leave this world, or is it going to come after we're gone.
That's an interesting point. One can really go a lot of different ways on that particular. But Christ did come to give us the gift of his son. I mean, Christ did come as God's son to give us the gift of his life for our sins as atonement, as written in the Bible and as written in the Torah. And as written into the foundations of our laws, because we're Judeo-Christian in nature. And so consequently, that is what the United States Constitution is based on. And it is indeed the supreme law of the land, and it will prevail in some way or form. It cannot be stopped because it is God's. It is, I can't say it's God inspired. I can't say it's any of that, but it is God's will that we resist tyranny. It's God's will that we, be his, not this world's. It's
Oh,
God's will that we all be saved.
oh. But I mean, you've known people that, I mean, just get a credit card. And I know a lot of college students that they get a college card and they go crazy. And then they learn when it's too late that they were spending more to look nice and pretend like they had something that they didn't have. And then the piper comes home, and then they find out that, after they got their car repossessed and all these other things, what else can they do? Because the parents didn't teach them about finances, and they were just tossing all these cards at them when they went to college. And of course, the parents not there to say, if you don't, you should only spend like maybe 30% of that, and make sure you pay it off at the end of the month. So nobody's there to tell them all these little financial things. And we're not in schools, of course, we're not taught how to manage our bank accounts. We're not taught about just how to be entrepreneurs, because I guess the school system is teaching everyone, we want you to work in a factory or something thereof. So we're getting used to being somewhere from 9 to 5, or in the school case, I guess, 8 to 3 in the afternoon.
That's absolutely a very good point that is being brought up here. And if you're just joining us on Intervision FM, we do like to kind of just banter around topics like this one. And today we're kind of talking about the gift of giving, it being the Christmas season, and
Yeah.
the stimulus package that just came out at $600. It's 600 more reasons to go ahead and get involved in your state and local state and federal government. It's a super important thing, and it's the only way that's going to change anything, if there's any way to change anything at all. But it's
Yeah.
awesome time to be alive, Johnny. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know what? I guess it could be worse, but for us who've been able to make it through it without too much hardship, it's been I guess a year of fighting, and not really fighting, climbing the hill, and it gives you like a challenge.
Absolutely. See, here's how I look at 2020. When it opened, I was getting ready to travel my 49th revolution around the sun. Now it's almost complete. I'm getting ready to hit 50. So I'm going to get the most awesome Christmas present, birthday present ever. Because on January 21st, one way or the other, we're going to have a new president. And so I'm going to be a happy man, because one way or the other, the Constitution will either be upheld in some way, or we will have to go to work as the American people and see what we can do about redress of public grievances, peacefully going out there and getting into our local, state, and federal governmental affairs and just kind of seeing how we can help out. Now, here's something I wanted to bring up. 7% or so of the United States population, I think by the, let's just call it 7% unemployment rate. Now, it's been said that there is a 70% unemployment rate in the blind community. I've heard it as high as 90 before. Unfortunately, if 7 out of 10 or if 9 out of 10 of any demographic of society isn't working, well, they have a lot of time on their hands. So why don't you go ahead on and give me all your $5,000 omnibus spending bills? I'll go ahead and read them. And if I like them, I'll vote for them. If I don't like them, why, I'm not going to vote for them. And so I'm just thinking, Alan Colvin for some sort of office somewhere, because I'll tell you, it's necessary that we, just one of us, and then one more get involved until such time as that tipping point is reached. And perhaps we can take this back. Maybe we can't. Maybe it's time to set the sun on our political experiment. But one thing is certain, there's never room for give up. There's never room for surrender. There's never room for bending. There's never room for yielding. Not when freedom and liberty is concerned, not ever.
And speaking of giving, I had to mention this. Christian Brothers has been, since I can't play our commercial, Christian Brothers is a moving company that sponsored our show, and Brian Robbins, the man, he says, "Oh, what's your address?" And I'm thinking like, "Oh, okay, I'll give you my address." And so he sent us like a box of these very delicious gourmet cookies. So I want to just thank Christian Brothers over there in Englewood. And if you need to move, definitely use their service because they're excellent quality, and Brian is just a fine gentleman that he sort of like he mentors the guys that work for him. So when they have downtime, they get on town and he puts like these scripture books and some food and brown bags and goes downtown and feeds the homeless. So good.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Christian Brothers Moving.
Yep, in Englewood.
All right. Do you have a contact number for those folks? Or?
Yeah, you have to use this at the Google. They're in Englewood. I think they do have a location in Arizona as well. But no, I don't have the number. And man, I hate it, the fact that we can't play the audio.
Oh, we'll get everything square here momentarily, folks.
Yeah.
We're just a small station out there, or a couple of voices out there crying in the wilderness, as it were, that freedom and liberty must ring. Freedom and liberty must ring.
Yeah, this is definitely right. But okay, so we're definitely screaming. I see us on Innovision Records, but it's like I just hate the temp hitting the audio since never mind. So anyway, but at least we're streaming live. So hey, so
yeah, check out Christian Brothers Moving, and those guys, from what I could tell, these guys are some really awesome folks. I want to give a quick shout out to some folks that have really helped me out. Jerry and Donna. I want to thank Kristen. I want to thank Mike. I want to thank Rebecca. I want to thank these folks from the bottom of my heart. They really helped me out over the last week and a half to get some things squared away to where I'm not behind anymore as much, anyway, as I could be. And certainly, the $600 stimulus, man, I'm going to have to spend it.
Yeah. I mean, if it goes through, but I don't know if they could just explain this other stuff they put in there. Is this just 5,000 pages and just?
Well, here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact. I'm going to make me a game or something like this, and I want to go ahead and put it on YouTube. Now, this game has to do with how much time do we got? I'm going to try to wrap this up quick. How much time we got?
Let's see. We have about 3 minutes because we started early. Yeah.
Oof. All right, I'm going to try to wrap this up quick. So we got a game, or actually, let's do a video. We're doing a video on YouTube, and all this video is it deals with boats. One boat or one set of boats going to the other side of this lake. And some of these boats are frogs, but they look like boats. So let's call them fraudulent boats. And these fraudulent boats are also wanting to get to the other side of the lake. Well, only the real boats can get to the other side of the lake because they carry real people. These fraudulent boats, shall we say, they can't get there, because if they get there, they're going to overtake all the people on the other side of the lake. Now, if I wanted to put that video up there on YouTube, boy, that video could possibly get flagged if there were copyrighted materials in there. So let's talk about fraudulent boats, and let's talk about going from one side to the other side of the lake, informationally speaking. And let's just realize, do we want this for us? Do we want this for our kids? Do we want this for our grandkids? I mean, come on, we can't even speak freely.
No, I don't. It's like, oh man. That's an interesting concept.
Oh yeah, very interesting. Can't even if there's stuff that's copyrighted, you've got to get that permission. From what I understand, in this bill, this was just sort of
10 years in jail.
10 years in jail. I'm talking losing your right to vote because you're a felon. There's fines associated with this thing, and all because you wanted to make a fraudulent boat video, showing boats going from one side of the lake to the other. And
that is crazy.
Just have one boat, it's a real boat, and then the other boat that looks like a boat, but it's really a frog, and we'll call that a fraudulent boat, because obviously fraudulent boats were involved in something or other somewhere.
Yeah, this is true. Hey, I want to remind everybody that you can listen to our radio show on Innovision FM 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can watch this on TV as well. I try to get them uploaded as quickly as I can. So if you see the Christmas show in January, that means the guys weren't able to catch up to me uploading the shows for the TV, channel 56 at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. And then we're on Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope before they leave us. We're on there as well. And my book, 6 Shades of Blindness, I'm still making some corrections. So order the book, and as soon as I'm finished with the corrections, then they'll send the book out. Which I was like, oh man, I'm so envious, like I said, of these guys that they got these ghost writers. They got enough money to hire this person, that person, and all they have to do is to say, put their name on it and say, yeah, I wrote this book. And they had little, if anything, to do. Maybe a few stories, looked over, say, oh, that looks fine. Cover, oh, does my picture look good? Okay, yeah, my picture looks good, and that's it. So writing a book is more than I ever thought. Typesetting and all that kind of stuff is where I got stuck in, and writing the book was the easy part. So
well, anyway, I got to hand it to you, Johnny, because I'll tell you, you got out there, you stepped out there, you answered the call, as it were, and got out of the boat and got out onto the lake, and really just jumped out there and expected for good things to happen.
Yeah,
and so, that's good.
Yeah, and also, and tomorrow's show, I'll come up with a Christmas theme or something like that. Hopefully, nothing will raise my blood pressure tomorrow, as I prepare the show for tomorrow. And we'll have a fun topic. And you can even leave comments below. Leave something in my inbox, because I'll find that a lot faster than if you leave it in the comment section. So leave it in the inbox. So until tomorrow, this is Alan Corbin and Johnny J for Innovation
Signing off.
FM signing off.